10. All right, number 10. So x squared minus 2x equals 2. So I want it equal to 0, so I want to do this. So I'm going to get x squared minus 2x minus 2, and it's equal to 0. Good so far? And then we all know our famous x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
You were the one who was putting that on there. That's why.
All right, 1 out front. X equals 1, or a equals 1, b equals negative 2, c equals negative 2. Is it okay that 2 of the letters have the same numbers? Sure. It's not going to break anything. So I'm going to do this with the quadratic. Plus or minus.
Yeah, squares. Woo, squares.
Okay, we just need to fill in the squares. Friends, I'm going to have that type of thing up on that board so you realize when you're plugging things in. All right, so my b value, notice I have a negative 2. What do you notice about that negative 2 once it's in that little box? What's going to happen to it? Makes it positive. Then I have negative 2 squared, and you know that negative 2 squared has to be a positive number. And then a, and then c, all over 2a. So the big thing, realizing if you do it in the box like that, you're going to realize where signs need to change. Let's see, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8 over 2. So that gives me this, which is great. If you got down to that point, you got 3 of the 4 points. Why do you only get 3 of the 4 points?
Because you have to
Simplify.
Yeah, that root 12, which we'll do over here, is going to break down. So root 12 breaks down. I'm going to use 4 times 3. Would you feel comfortable with that? And the reason I'm not using 6 and 2 is 4 is the biggest perfect square. So that becomes 2 root 3. So that means this goes in this place. Just replaces it. Okay? So that's going to give me 2 plus or minus 2 root 3 all over 2. And then what we have to do is anything that is outside the radical, which is all that, if they can reduce, reduce them. Well, I think 2 goes into itself a bunch of times, like one time. So I wind up with x equals 1 plus or minus root 3. Problem is done. There it is. You guys have anything you want to say? Yeah, it's you know where they're at? On the other side of that black Cafe Island Camping, you see it. Yeah. Go ahead, Joey.
How did you get the 8 again?
How to get the what?
The 8 on the second.
Oh, okay. So you're asking about, right, this one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Negative 2 or negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. That makes sense? What else can I help you with, my friends? Yeah, Gustavo. 14, you got it.
No. God, a lot of people are back.
Yeah. It's beautiful outside. I don't know where we're at. So.
You want me to scare away the birds?
No, you're good. All right. So we want to factor each quadratic. Okay. Friends, I mean, honestly, we could go and try and factor these, or we can just keep going the quadratic formula. I'm going to choose to go with the quadratic. And the reason I'm going to go with the quadratic, though factoring is good, the quadratic is going to get you there too. All right, so we know x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I get x equals negative box plus or minus root box squared minus 4 box over 2 box. No, do what I can. All right, so let's see, x equals negative b, so 5 goes there. 5 squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So notice that first 5 is going to be negative because the negative outside, plus or minus 5 squared, which is 25, And then I'm going to go negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24. Do you agree with that? I'll highlight that so you can see it. So this 24 came from multiplying that all together.
Oh, no, this one looks good.
All right.
Why not add the 8?
Where are you looking at 8?
The negative 4,
This is all multiplication. You multiply that to that to that. That's all multiplication.
That equals 24.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so x equals negative 5 plus or minus root 49 all over 4. Friends, what's root 49?
7.
Good. So notice, eyes up there, ready? The square root of 49 is 7. So I put 7. There's no longer a square root sign. Where'd it go? I did the operation. Okay?
It was the perfect square to spell out their square root.
Right, so I'm going to get x equals negative 5 plus 7 over 4, and I'm going to get x equals negative 5 minus 7 over 4. Now, why am I doing this? Because I no longer have a radical, so I can actually do the math to it. So negative 5 plus 7 is 2, 2 over 4, so that gives me 1/2. That's one of my answers. The next one, I'm going to get negative 5 minus 7 is negative 12 over 4. That gives me negative 3. Those are my two answers. Okay, so that one would have factored. The reason you know it would have factored is because your answers came out to like fractions, like that didn't have any radical signs or anything like that. Joey, what do you got?
Can you work 13?
13?
Well, boom.
I hope so. All right. So number 13, I would think that I need to sneeze. All right, ready? I'm going to choose to factor this one. Why do I do that? This is going to factor, and this will actually factor our quick way. Okay? What two numbers multiply together to give me negative 18 and add together to give me positive 3? 6 and what? 6 and 3. Positive 6, negative 3. It's done. We just factored it. So that means that x plus 6 equals 0. So x equals negative 6. X minus 3 equals 0. Add 3. No, they won't be able to be plus because I have a negative 18. Okay, that's the faster way of factoring. If this out front is a 1, if it factors, it's quicker to do that. So you just basically, when you do this way, you say, what two numbers multiply to give the C value? What two numbers add to give the B value? Okay, and if they're both the same, then you just plug them directly into the thing. If you can't do that factoring, then the quadratic formula is going to work, and it would give you the same exact answers of x equals negative 6, x equals 3. Anything else you would like to see? Sovereign. How much?
12.
12? Oh, okay. Okay. I want it to equal 0, so I'm going to subtract 2x squared from both sides. Ooh, this one's got a lot of meat and potatoes to it. Okay. So we know we have x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, so my a value is negative 2, b value is 24, c value is negative 33. Okay, so x equals negative box plus or minus square root of box squared minus 4 box all over 2 box. All right, in the boxes, let's see, I got negative 24, or I got 24, I'm plugging in, 24 squared minus 4a That's negative 2. C is negative 33. Ay, ay, ay. All over this. All right, so I get negative 24 plus or minus 24 squared should be 576 unless I've fallen off my rocker, which is very possible. And let's do this. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Positive 8 times negative 33. 33 times 8. 24, carry the 2. 24. 264. Ay, ay, ay. 264 is minus 264. All over negative 4. Holy cow. I don't think I'll give you one like this on the test. Just too big of numbers. All right, so I'm just doing this off to the side. 576 minus 264. I don't know what it is, so I have to do the math. 1. Did I do that right? 2, 1, 3. 312? Oh my gosh.
312?
Yeah,
That's a square root perfect square.
it is not.
So,
No.
no, it ain't.
No, it ain't. Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. I thought it.
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, 312. Okay, I think 4 times. Anyone have a calculator? What's 312 divided by 4? 70.
78.
78. Okay. Let's see. 78 breaks down to 2 and 39. Is that right? Hang on. Let's see if we have any more perfect squares. 39 breaks down to 3 and 13. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that means underneath here, I'm going to say that root 312 breaks down to root 4 times 78, which is 2 root 78, which is ugly. Negative 24 plus or minus 2 root 78 over negative 4. Wow, who's a big jerk who gave this kind of problem? We learned it by doing you. That's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 12. Oh my gosh. Negative 12 plus or minus root 78
That was for-
over negative 2. No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Wait, unless I made a mistake, I think that's correct. Yikes.
This is horrifying.
Yeah, you know. When you're able to use a calculator, though, it works out for you.
That's not much.
I don't have a calculator. You have a $1,000 phone and you can't get a $2 calculator. Duh.
200.
200.
Wait, no, you can't. Never mind.
Not anymore.
Sorry.
Because the 78 and the 2 don't, because the 78's under the radical. All right, so my friends, this is what we have planned. So today is Friday. Agree?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, so I am going to give you a review sheet. You still with me on this? I want you to try and do the review sheet the best you can. Then when we come to Monday, that would be the next time we have class. You still with me?
Yeah.
We will go over all problems on the review sheet. Still with me? Then on Tuesday, you bring that review sheet back with you because you can use it on the quiz. Now, what cracks me up, you know you can use this on the quiz because I just told you. Agreed? That means that I would put this at a pretty high priority of making sure you bring it to school with you. Agree? It still cracks me up when I still get like 11 kids. I didn't know we could use it on the quiz.
Thanks, Steve.
Like, I realize I say a lot of stuff in math, and it sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. But I'm sorry, when I tell you, hey, you can use this on, that make that a little bit higher priority to listen than not listen, okay? So, what can we use on the quiz? That, yeah. Now, I will tell you that the review sheet, problem number 1 doesn't necessarily go with problem number 1 on the quiz. Okay, you might have to search for it. So problem number 1 on the review sheet is 2x squared plus 5x minus 7. Use the quadratic formula. And problem number 1 on the quiz is break up root 72. Like, this doesn't look the same. I know. I can't hold your hand that much. Okay? So, we all good? All right, I'm going to stop recording if that's okay with y'all.
Just steal it.
Yeah, you know that.